Hello there! Steam Next Fest is here once again. Sadly this season we are getting a not insignificant amount of AI slop. But I'm filtering those out, so I only show you the good ones, like this one. This is Syntax Overload, a computer-themed little roguelite, where you gather programs and put them together in one sequence and execute that sequence in order to defeat the enemy programs. The runs are pretty short, but I do like the amount of builds that you can make. From what I have seen, and since, this is a demo, there's gonna be even more. It has some achievements for the hunters. And this here is the meta progression. After every run you get credits. You spend the credits for some permanent stuff. Some interchangeable, I think, extra stuff. And we got some softwares, which I think are some bigger upgrades. So let's start one session. We get a local server, that's basically your standard mode. We got corporate firewall, that is a harder mode. And I do appreciate that it isn't just that the numbers are bigger. It actually introduces a brand new mechanic. But this one, in its entirety, is actually outside the scope of the demo. You can only take a little glimpse at it. So we're gonna go with local server. And then we select the OS. It's basically your starting deck. We got sysadmin, that's the standard. And I unlocked these two by playing. Got the red team. You start with less HP, but deal more damage. And we got the snake charmer. You start with an Ouroboros core. Basically eats your other programs every turn and gets stronger with it. I do like it. But maybe let's go with the red team. Little bit of extra strength. And here's a problem already. The game goes with the CRT filter, which I don't really care for, but the thing is, every time you start, it automatically applies it. You have to manually disable it. There we go. That's better. I'm pretty sure that's gonna be patched out very soon. So, here we have the map of the run. Very familiar if you ever played roguelike deck builders. And this one is only 30 steps deep with the boss at the end. We got the drones, that's the basic combat. Got the firewall. These are the elites. Black market, obviously the shops. We got the backups. These are like the bonfire. Places for healing or other stuff. And we got the unknown zips. These are your events. Not seeing many backups here. We might have to manage our health. Okay. So we start with 70 health. And the in-game currency is RAM. Don't know if we can deal with an elite immediately. So maybe play it safe a little bit. And here we are at the combat. Over here are our stats, health, our current level, and the general stats of our rig. That is gonna be increased with the meta currency. Here's our money. Up here is the enemy. I would like to know what each of these non-damaging attacks do. But there is no pop-up for that. You can only see the general gimmick of the enemy you're fighting. And this one is ransomware, so it's gonna keep draining our money. But fortunately, we start with nothing, so we cannot be robbed. Over here we have the process queue. We got 5 slots. And currently 3 actions that we can put here. So we start with 2 daggers, each doing 15 damage, and a fire rune, which doubles the next attack. Okay. And you just drag everything you have into the queue, and then it's going to resolve once we hit execute. And when it looked like one of the attacks was a crit. That's nice. I don't think I ever got a 5% proc in any game ever. So, hooray! We gained some RAM, and we can gain a new module. We have critical condition, doubles the next effect if we are below half health. That's a gamble. How about now? We got recycler, skip the next action and gain some memory. Our VPN, cleanse debuffs, and plus 15 block. Each of those is very good, and together they are even better. Now let's get to the market. Here you can spend your hard-earned RAM to repair yourself a little bit. We got some modules. You can pay 150 to buy another slot. We have overclock here. Damages yourself a little to deal triple damage. That sounds nice. We got recursion. Trigger the item to the left 3 times in the right hands. That is extremely powerful. With 42k, we cannot do anything, so let's just leave. On to the next fight. You are a standard ping command. Okay, I think it's pretty weird. But instead of seeing the amount of block that you have, you actually have to look at the enemy. So once I put the VPN in here, it's gonna give us 15 block. You don't actually see it. That's what the damage in the brackets is. It's gonna get deducted. So at the end, you're gonna see minus 1 HP. So, execute. See, only took 1 damage. Pretty weird way of handling block, I think. Maybe it's just the regular roguelike convention that I would like an overlay over my health more than this. But still, it is the dev's business. And here we go. What do we get this time? Pointer, execute the item in slot 0. Another critical condition, or another fire rune. Now let's take a pointer. That is gonna be useful in many ways. And I think at this point we are strong enough to try for an elite, so now we're actually getting multiple. Very nice. So let's go like this. This one is a standard protocol. And I don't really see it mentioned anywhere, but it does appear that you always start 15 block at the start of every fight. Not sure where you can see that, but it is here. So with this one VPN we're gonna fully block, so that is nice. And we put the pointer here. The thing here is that even if we put it here, that's gonna execute this fire rune, but that does nothing on its own, so we're gonna have to rearrange stuff a little bit, like this. We can even increase the speed. Now that you know what you are looking at, this goes a little faster. And there we go, one more victory. we get a miner program, generates 5 kilobytes of RAM, or a miner rig, minus 20 RAM, but deals 60 damage. Having both of these might be nice, or even something that gives more RAM. As of now. And you know what, let's take the miner rig. That actually makes elite fights go a little faster. And also, after every fight, your max HP increases, I think, by 10%. Just something to note. So, what are you? You're a script kiddie. Okay, so you're not really doing anything. That's good. We can fully block this turn. And now you're attacking for 20. With 1 VPN, we cannot block fully. But we can do that. And because of the pointer, this is gonna execute twice, so we are still fully blocked. And just keep going until we win. Very nice. Offset jump. Skip the next item, execute the one after. Interesting. We got a local host. Heals 5. Plus 10 block. Or fishing. 20 damage. Plus 50 RAM. If it kills. Okay. We can definitely make some plays with that. And you're a ransomware. You're gonna steal our hard-earned money. I do not like that. So we already have everything blocked. And I don't understand why. Oh well. So let's put the fishing over here. Since we're not taking damage, we can just concentrate on hitting the guy. Okay, and now we block. I probably should replace the dagger with the fishing. That's just better. And once more. Okay, so you have 23 health left. Fire rune plus fishing is gonna work here. So let's do that. Nice. So now we killed an elite and we get an artifact, which is a passive ability. We have an Oni mask, plus 50% damage to bosses. Very nice. Glitch shield, executing a bug, grants 2 block instead of taking damage. Bugs are basically useless programs that can get generated in some way. Haven't really found any way that could do that. Also got a yellow duck. Start combat with plus 10 RAM. While considering that there is only one boss, this might not be all that worth it. But you can always find some use for money, so let's take a duck. And all our passives are gonna be up here. And also up here during a fight. And you are a time bomb. And that's not nice. It's gonna explode every 3 turns. But that also means that we don't need block until it is time. You know, I can sacrifice a little bit of RAM here to deal massive damage. So let's do that. That's nice. And I think we can put one more dagger in here. Yep. And now you're going to explode for a buttload of damage. But thankfully, we don't need to deal with that. And we're just getting free money. Wonderful. And another artifact. Infinite loop. Every fourth attack card plays twice. Coupon. Shop items 30% off. Or glitch shield again. You know, if I get just one more cheap attack, I could put something on infinite loop. That would be nice. We can either heal or get some money with data mining. Let's do that. And then go to black market. And now that we have a whole lot of ROM, maybe just buy the expansion, Ctrl C, copy the left item. Also single use. But do you get to keep what it turns into? That's the question. Let's try it out. We got a golden gun. Deal damage equal to 20% of your ROM. I tried this in one of my previous runs. It's actually superbly positive, especially if you get some other modules that make it repeat, like this recursion here, that triggers the item to the left 3 times. So these two in this formation makes it fire 4 times. It's amazing. Let's maybe do one reroll, see if we get something nice. Black hole, consume the next, and deals 60 damage. Well, we can do that. We just have to put this at the end. And then there is nothing left to consume. Okay, let's do it like this. And then maybe just hit another elite. Oh, what do you know? It's another time bomb. Let's see what we can do here. Let's go back to normal speed and see how this plays out. Okay, so it looks like Ctrl C does in fact give us the stuff. But let's not be too hasty about it. I don't really see where it tracks the infinite loop. If it maybe carries over. But my guess is that it doesn't. I think, if I'm looking at it right, with the way everything is set up. That's 1 attack. That's 2. That's 3. And if I remove the minor rig, the black hole should be the 4th. That is gonna get played twice. Let's see. Oh, I think I understand. Looks like the black hole doesn't actually do anything. If it doesn't eat something, well, that's my bad. That was a total misplay on my part. So, let's do some damage control. This way we get 45 block. That's better than nothing. Okay, and now we get 3 more turns to make this right. That should mean 1, 2, 3 and 4 attacks to make it double. That's more like it. As you can see, there is a tiny bit of math involved, but it's not too bad. Corp ID. Shop price is down. Here 10 on entering a shop. That's nice. Bug bounty. Gain 5 RAM for every bug in your storage. We currently have none. Schrödinger's cat, 50% chance to survive fatal damage, once per battle. Interesting. Let's take the sure thing. We're gonna have 3, 4 markets. That's good. Let's go over this way. We got a leg switch that applies weakness to half our damage. Okay. So all of this can stay. Okay. And whatever the Control C does. Oh, wait a minute. I thought it said 1 use. But apparently that is 1 use per fight. Or I don't know what's going on. But if that is the case, I actually can have a free use of Black Hole. Once per fight. Interesting. I do like what you're doing here. With the 3 setup attacks to make this fundable. If that is indeed how Infinite Loop works. And now I want to see if I can abuse the hell out of Control C. Okay, exhausted item removed from session. So it does show up as used. But we did get a pointer for it. So, I don't really understand the weird things you can get up to in this game. Let's just keep copying pointer. Up the speed a little bit. Well, this is unexpected. You are living at 0 health. How does that work? Oh, maybe weakness actually deals with fraction damage. We just don't see it. Well, alright then. We're winning either way. Swap memory. Swap the items to the left and right. So basically, as you go through the sequence, whatever is to the left of it is gonna get triggered twice because of this. Okay. Sniper, 30 damage, and skip the next. Again, as long as you keep it at the end of it. There should be no downside. And a siphon, deal damage and heal. I wouldn't mind some healing. Now let's see this event. Remove all bugs. We do not have any. So let's heal a little bit. And just keep going for the elites, I guess. Click yes for a legendary item. Or no for a safe item. Let's go for a safe item, see what that is. Okay, what did we get? Juice box. 100% apple juice for kids. Heals 1. Yeah, okay. That is safe. We have a time bomb. So the only thing that is concerning me is that the enemy's health is increasing much faster than our own. But our damage actually doesn't scale, so we might have to do something about that. This is just ridiculous. I can make 2 copies of anything in every single fight. I really don't think that is intended. So, you know what? Let's heal up a little. In style. That's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4 times 8. Hehe. Behold the unkillables. You can never have enough pointers. And then just heal back up. Oh, this is so ridiculous. That should be enough. Let's see. Yep. I kinda wanna get a lucky clover though. Because we do have a persistent base 5% crit. So now it's 25%. We can get minus 10 max HP for a rare relic. Sure, hit me. Bug Bounty or VPN Tunnel. Immune to map security scans. That is the thing that only exists on higher difficulties, so no use in getting that. Or encrypted cache, gain 20 block when a slot is logged. Well, the thing about this is that we haven't found anything that locks. But out of all of these, let's just get this. And another one. Oh, you're a ransomware. You're gonna steal our money. I do not like that. More pointers. Oh, and we unlocked something. The dark web. Interesting. Let's see. Overcharge. The first item in your queue executes 3 times. That's awesome. Like, always? Or only on the first turn? I don't know. Scissors. First attack deals plus the 10 damage. Now this one is definitely only at the start of the combat, otherwise it would be too much. Let's take Overcharge. See where it goes. Keep making more. Random damage between 1 and 150. Doesn't even matter anymore. Let's grab this. Probably gonna end up selling it, but it's obvious what we're gonna do here. Oof. Now that's an HP and a half. And you're gonna steal my RAM on attack. Okay then. Oh, you gave me a bug. I see. Well, you know what that means. It's black hole time. Yeah, this is really taking a while. This fire rune is the only way we can get more damage. Unfortunate. But on the flip side, we are virtually untouchable. Whew, final stretch. Only 111 health left. So all we need is more fishing. Nice. And we gained an antivirus, immune to debuffs, plus 30 block at the start. Very nice. So now we don't even need blocking, unless it's big attack. One basic script kiddie. So VPN can just go away. If we do a multi-execute on RNG God, is that going to roll the damage every single time? One way to find out. Point at him and laugh. Normal speed, let's say. Hehe, look at all these numbers. Oh goddamn, that really is random. And with the crit as well. I like this. Oh, plus 30 block at start, like the start of the fight, not the start of the turn. Okay, I think I understand it now. There we go. Another module. Siphon. Banana. Heal and +5. RAM. Or Firewall X. Block equal to 30% of your RAM. Well, our RAM is quite sizable. And we continue on towards the market. Oh, I keep getting ransomware. They really want to get at my RAM, huh? Yeah, 420 block. That is ridiculous. And now you're very low on health. So, phishing for you. Onimask again. Viral coating. Attacks apply bug. -5 HP per turn. Our blood contract start with 10 damage. But 30 RAM. 5 per turn is basically nothing at this point, so we're going with the Onimask. Nice. Okay, I am nowhere near the boss, but I am seriously out of time, so I am going to end it right here. Gonna try to trim it down to 30 minutes. We'll see how that goes. So yeah, this is syntax overload. You can already see how busted combinations you can get. And that is even without almost any of the meta progression stuff, so I have high expectations for the full game. Let me know what you think. Gonna leave the link to the Steam page in the description so you can go and try it out yourself and wishlist this game. And I will be back with something else later. See you around.